Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and the Minnesota Twins franchise on MLB The Show 18. We're in Season 3, just one game in. We did the opening day episode last time around, and it was a successful debut for many of our new players. We're going to continue our series here against the Angels today, and also get through this series against the Texas Rangers. So we'll take it pretty slowly here during this season as long as things go well. Especially in the beginning, I like to see how everybody is playing and how the season kind of gets unfolded. So let's get into it here in Game 2 against the Angels. We won the first game 6-4 behind 3 home runs. And this is Charlie Blackmon, who enters with a 22-game hitting streak, and he ends up retired here, but I didn't think he was out. Replay shows he was safe. I thought it was worth the challenge. The batters at the top of your order might bat 4 or 5 times in a game, so why not give them a base runner here in the very opening frame? We have Paul Goldschmidt, who had 2 home runs on opening day, and this is drilled to center, but well within the range of Mike Trout. Then 2 down, we go to Nelson Cruz, who also went yard on opening day, and Trout now ranges out to his right, getting in a little workout here in the first inning as the Twins end up with nothing. So my challenge there didn't work out. Maybe you don't like that tactic. I thought it was a good time to employ it. Here is one of our new veteran pitchers. We saw Dallas Keuchel on opening day. Now it's the veteran Lance Lynn, who had a very good season a year ago. He's not going to necessarily be the flashiest pitcher, but he will get a lot of good innings for you. And that's what we see here to begin the day as Mike Trout pops up for Paul Goldschmidt. We'll take this to the bottom of the second inning now. Cole Calhoun falls behind 0-2. And there's the curveball of Lance Lynn as Calhoun gets tied up there. And now 2 down. Lynn gets ahead once more 0-2 and is going to go right back to that breaking ball. Now on the outside corner for another strikeout. Good couple of innings to start for Lance Lynn. And then we're going to go through some games a little bit faster here. So I do some simming. And Paul Goldschmidt goes yard. So 3 home runs in his first, 13 innings as a Twin. Here is Charlie Blackmon in the 5th, as this game didn't feature a lot of early offense. Blackmon here battling and then lifting one in the air to center. Skaggs gave up the solo homer to Goldschmidt, but nothing else in his first 5 innings. Angels, meanwhile, no hits through 4. They did get 1 walk as their only base runners. So continuing here with Lance Lynn drilling the inside corner and then the cutter. Another strikeout of Luis Valbuena. Suarez had some big hits on opening day, but he won't even make contact here. The cutter gets him. So no hit through 5. Now Lynn has my attention. Here's Goldschmidt in the 6th. He rips this into the outfield. Even his outs are impressive. He's just a different caliber hitter than we're used to. Bottom 6. Here's Sanchez falling behind. Lynn didn't fall behind in many of these counts. It is 2-2 here. Sanchez up the middle. There is Yunel Escobar making the play from short. 6 innings, no hits allowed. We'll go bottom 7. Here's Mike Trout. The last person you want to face here with a 2-0 count with a no-hitter in the 7th. And Lynn, 3-1, gets a big pop-up. Blackmon has to go all the way in here. He'll secure this. That's the second time Trout popped up in this game. Then to finish the 7th, A.J. Pollock. He falls behind. Lynn gets the curveball on the inside corner, and Pollock whiffs. We'll go bottom 8 now. Lance Lynn looking for history. Hitting into the shift, Harrison to Goldschmidt. There's another out for Calhoun. Then Valbuena. Already a couple strikeouts. How about a third? Might as well. Curveball gets him again. 2 down in the 8th. And Suarez looks at the fastball right at the ceiling of the strike zone. And we go to the 9th inning with Lynn's no-hitter intact. And Byron Buxton gives us a home run for a little more support. So here is Lance Lynn. Logan Forsythe, the batter. No offer on the breaking ball. 2-2, grounded to third. There's Polanco filling in for Miguel Sano. Good spinning throw, 1 down. Then Sanchez in the air to left. Eduardo Escobar can make this catch. Now 1 out away. Cameron Maybin is the batter. 1-1. Down the line, but foul by inches. Then 1-2. Maben looks at the inside fastball. Count even, on the ground to Polanco, and the throw is there as Lynn completes the no-hitter. The first of his career and the first the Twins have had since 2011 when Francisco Liriano gave them a no-hitter. But the Twins make history here on just the second game of the season. So we came into this year with so many new veteran additions. We have Keuchel, who had a great opening day start. Goldschmidt, 2 home runs. Cruz went yard. Now Lynn. If you want to make a first impression, look no further than how to do it here than with the Twins. I never expected this early of an impact on these investments, but I'm pretty happy with it. He was a walk away from a perfect game, but that came back in like the 3rd inning, so not too worried about that. We still make history. And the Twins improved to 2-0, and we get some good news here with Miguel Sano no longer injured. I thought he might miss the first, 2 series of the year after opening day, but no, he's back for Game 3. And here's another first impression that's about to be made. It's Maxwell Fowler and his MLB debut. Signing autographs here before the game, even on the road. He's the number 4 prospect in baseball. People know that he is a big deal. He was the number 1 overall draft pick in this series in the first season. And after 1 year in the minors, he is set to make his major league debut. We'll get to that. But first, the offense. Charlie Blackmon, base hit, stolen base. Just like that, Twins are in business. Yunel Escobar batting second in this game as he lifts one deep to center. Trout's going to track that down, but Blackmon can easily tag up and move to third. So let's go to Paul Goldschmidt. He's already driven in a few runs for this team, and the slider there is way inside. 2-1. It's on the ground to second base, and that's enough to bring Charlie Blackmon home. So a 1-0 lead just like that for the rookie Maxwell Fowler. Just 19 years old, but very impressive. He throws 5 pitches. I think the sinker is going to be a big deal for him to get a lot of soft ground ball outs. And he might not be a high strikeout pitcher. I think at AAA last year he had like a 3 to 4 K per 9. But he gets an even count here against Cameron Maben and starts his major league career with a strikeout. I think he'll get more of these looking than swinging. I've noticed that he has the tendency to have a lot of long at-bats with a bunch of fouls, and that might elevate his pitch count at times. But he did get some swinging strikes here in the first inning, 0-2, and Simmons right back to Fowler, and maybe some first start jitters here as he ends up with an error on his first ever attempt at fielding a baseball. So man on first for Mike Trout, and Simmons will take off, and he is thrown out by Mitch Garver. Now Garver really was a star in spring training. He was able to hit for a very high average, he threw some runners out. And here's his first attempt now. He's the backup catcher. I think it's his rookie season as well. And another good first impression, I guess you could say. We end up here with a pop-out from Mike Trout. So not a bad first frame here for the Twins. Let's go into the second. Josh Harrison, watch out, off the left elbow. He heads the first, and now Mitch Garver, the backup catcher this year to Jason Castro. And given Garver's play in spring training, I want to give him an opportunity to take that starting job. I want to get him into a game like every series. That would keep Castro well rested. Garver gets retired here in his first trip, so we'll go bottom 2. And this is what I expect Maxwell Fowler's game to look like. A lot of weak ground balls and easy plays for the defense. I don't want to see a lot of fly balls off of Fowler. Here is Cole Calhoun in the second inning, and we get an 0-2 count. But you're going to see Calhoun here battle. And this is what I talked about earlier. I think that Fowler's stuff might not be good enough to get a bunch of swinging strikes, but the control is definitely good enough to get some batters looking at pitches that they thought were outside. Now it's Luis Valbuena who gets the first hit off of Maxwell Fowler, hitting against the shift very nicely. But it's alright as Fowler gets the ground ball, and Sano back over at third base gets the final out of the inning. Top 3, and let's check in with Byron Buxton, who went yard in the previous game. I think it's a very important year for his offensive play. You want to see him take that next step. He hits one deep to center here for Trout. Later in the inning, we have a runner on for Miguel Sano, and this is drilled to center and not coming back. Every hitter dreams of that pitch. A breaking ball up in the zone, just hung up for a home run swing. Sano's first homer of the season, now a 3-0 Twins lead. And you're seeing already, we're getting a lot of our runs off of the long ball. I hope that we can also manufacture runs in other ways, but the home run could be back in a big way this season. Nice lead here for the rookie. Maxwell Fowler here in the 5th, still going strong as Valbuena is not having a very enjoyable series here against us. Suarez next up the middle. Sharply hit and through. But we didn't see a lot of line drive contact off of Max. It was just grounders that sneak through, and that's more manageable. Then you get the fastball on the corner. This is what Maxwell Fowler's game is about. And that time he gets really lucky that Sanchez stares at a fastball right down the heart of the plate. 3-0 Twins, and now Goldschmidt getting hit. I feel like we've seen a lot of hit by pitches already this season. Sano up again, and this is lined into the right center gap. Cut off by Trout, holding Sano at first, but Goldschmidt advances. And the Angels turn to their bullpen. Rafael Joy gets into the game. Runners at the corners, and this one gets away from Sanchez, but not that far. And they end up getting Goldschmidt out at the dish. I thought we'd have the time to get Goldie home, but it turns out to be a poor decision. Then Cruz gives this one a ride, but it'll stay in the yard for another out. 2 down then, Rosario pops up. Very poor management here of the runners at the corners situation. Luckily, we had this 3-0 lead, and the pitcher doing a pretty good job in his debut. However, Cameron Maben does get the single hit into left. Then it's Andrelton Simmons, 3-2, and Fowler walks him. Fowler will not issue very many walks, but he gets into a 2-on, nobody out scenario, and Trout pops up again. We got lucky that Trout was not on his game here in this series. Next up, A.J. Pollock, slider low, 2-2, fastball fouled away. We stay in that location, and Pollock waves at the slider. I just like the control here of Maxwell Fowler. Then the sinker against Cole Calhoun. Good job getting out of trouble. We'll sim through a couple of innings now, and we get another home run from Paul Goldschmidt. What a start to this year. 4-0 Twins. Jake Reed returns to action here in the 9th. Looking for one last out. Suarez strikes out. Ball game. The Twins open the 2019 season with a decisive 3-game sweep of the Los Angeles Angels. Back-to-back shutouts, including a no-hitter, and the Twins start out as dominant as any team could hope. This time it's a 4-0 win, a home run for Sano, another one for Paul Goldschmidt, and that'll take us into our second series of the year, now facing the Texas Rangers, a battle of the unbeatens here early in the season. Jose Barrios versus Andrew Cashner. Now, Cashner was coming off a pretty good season. I was impressed by his numbers. He walks Blackman on 4 pitches, but we follow it up with a ground ball at third base, and Polanco gets doubled up. Then it's Paul Goldschmidt. 4 home runs in 3 games, and grounds one through the right side. That was his first hit as a Twin that didn't go over the fence. Sano next, and this is a laser down the line, but easily foul. 2-2, grounded. 2 hops to third base, inning over. So here's Jose Barrios, another one of our top prospects, a potential pitcher. We've been very patient with him, but he spent most of his season in the minor leagues, had his ups and downs. He has a very high ceiling, and that is, I think, of an ace. He gets good break on his pitches. He has a very good fastball. I'm really excited about him in this series. And there's that fastball getting a strikeout here in the first. With 2 down, we have the AL batting champion from a year ago, Nomar Mazara, who I think hit like 347. 1-2-3 inning, though, for Jose Barrios, as we'll take this top 2. Eddie Rosario lifted to left, going the other way. And this will stay in the yard. We'll go bottom 2. This is Joey Gallo, and of course we have that very aggressive shift against him, and he hits right into it. Josh Harrison from the outfield makes a very impressive throw. Runner on first for the Rangers. This is lifted into the outfield. Rosario tracking it down deep and left. Helping out his pitcher there with some good defense. We'll jump into a little bit more simming now, as in the bottom of the third, we do give up our first run on a double from Delino to Shields. But for the most part, again, we had another good outing. Barrios gets the strikeout now with the changeup on Brett Nicholas. Runner at second to Shields again. Line drive left field. And they'll have a chance to score. Rosario comes up throwing, but it's not the best throw. And the Rangers go up 2-0. Trying to get through the inning, Barrios nails the corner. And Mazara strikes out. Barrios gets through 5, only allowing 2. It's not a bad outing. The Twins got to get some runs. How about Byron Buxton? 2-2 count. Fastball close. Full count and strike 3 on the low changeup. Really good start here for Andrew Cashner. Here is Castro back in the starting lineup today, blooping one down in right center field. Polanco the next to hit, and he also wants the bloop one. He'll go left center now. Twins get 2 base runners in the 6th. And the batter, Paul Goldschmidt. Goldie on the ground to first. Not the best pitch to swing at there, especially to start the at-bat. And Cashner gets the double play. We end up taking Barrios out of the game then in the 6th for Trevor May. Barrios allowed a couple base runners, and May, making his first appearance of the season, gets a strikeout to start. And he'll get another here on the fastball as Stein comes up empty. Top 7, Twins need some offense, and they're not getting it. Miguel Sano swings through a good fastball. Cashner still going strong. Harrison grounds it. Andrew Cashner, 7 scoreless innings. Not what I expected here in our trip to Texas. 2-0 wasn't a problem, but then things came a little unglued here in the 7th inning. We ran through like 3 or 4 different relievers just trying to end the game, or end the inning. We end up losing here pretty decisively. The Rangers stay unbeaten, and we lose the game 8-1, managing just 1 run in the 9th. I thought it was a decent start for Jose Barrios. It certainly wasn't terrible. 5 1/3, 2 runs allowed, 9 strikeouts. That's a performance you can build upon for sure. Yadier Alvarez took the mound in the 2nd game of this series, and we see Jason Castro broke his hand. So now our battle between him and Garver is over. Garver now has to be the starting catcher. Twins end up losing here in 16 innings, and that really wears out our bullpen. Alvarez did go 6, allowing just 1 run. But back to the injury situation, now putting Castro on the 60-day DL requires us to get a catcher. We'll bring back Chris Jimenez, who was our backup catcher in the 1st season of the series. I just like his defense more than the other free agents that were available. But now that means we have a higher expectation of Mitch Garver becoming the everyday catcher. We take the 3rd game here against the Rangers. Dallas Keuchel goes 9 innings and gets the victory. Twins start the year 4-2. That's pretty good considering all games were also on the road. We're about to play 3 series in a row now at Target Field. Let me know down below, which of those series would you be most interested in me really focusing on? Maybe I do 2 series or 2 episodes for that homestand. But up next, I'll be doing the minor league opening days, and then we'll get back to the Twins in that homestand to see how this team continues. Really interested in how these young pitchers play. We had a very good first trip through the rotation for everybody, and now Mitch Garver becoming the catcher. Can he pick up where he left off with spring training? Leave your feedback down below in the comments section. Let me know what you thought of this episode and the format for it. This is how I kind of envision this season working more and going through kind of 3 games at a time. Maybe I do some simming in there to make games go by a little bit quicker. But leave your feedback down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe to the channel for much more Twins franchise to come. I'll see you all soon with the minor league opening day episode. Have a great day, everybody.